Good morning, all of you. In previous class, we discussed about what solubility means. Now, in today's class, we will discuss about remaining water soluble vitamins B9, B12, and vitamin C. So, come to the first vitamin B9, that is folic acid. So, here see folic acid in folium means leaf of vegetables in Latin. So, the name folic acid came from the folium. So, because this folic acid available in vegetables, that is green leafy vegetables, in abundant. It is a water soluble vitamin, and when exposed to light, it is rapidly destroyed. Come to the chemistry of folic acid. Folic acid is a component of three compounds: pteridine, para-aminobenzoic acid, and glutamic acid. So, pteridine and para-aminobenzoic acid together to form the pteroic acid. Then pteroic acid combined with the glutamic acid, that is the amino acid, will form the pteroyl glutamic acid, or also called as folic acid. This is the structure of folic acid. Just remember, in chemistry of folic acid contain pteridine ring, para-aminobenzoic acid, and glutamic acid. So, the main component or coenzyme which is synthesized from the folic acid is tetrahydrofolic acid. So, the main enzyme for synthesis of tetrahydrofolic acid is folate reductase. So, it is a reduction reaction. Here you can see this reaction require NADPH as a coenzyme. So, here in previous class we discussed NADPH utilizing reactions or synthetic reactions. So, this is the one of the reaction which require NADPH. Okay. So, from the NADPH, hydrogen atoms are added to the folic acid. So, here means it is reduced, folic acid reduced to 7,8 dihydrofolic acid, means 2 hydrogen atoms, dihydrofolic acid. Then again it is reduced to 5, 6, 7, 8 tetrahydrofolic acid, that is tetrahydrofolic acid. So, 4 tetra means 4, hydro means hydrogen atoms with folic acid. So, 4 hydrogen atoms added to the folic acid, that is the active form of tetrahydrofolic acid. So, this is the main coenzyme form of folic acid. So, main function of folic acid is this tetrahydrofolic acid, also called as THFA or THF, tetrahydrofolate. Tetrahydrofolate or tetrahydrofolic acid, both are same. Okay, the tetrahydrofolic acid is act as a carrier of 1 carbon groups. So, what are the 1 carbon groups are? Formyl, that is CHO, formimino, CH and double one NH, methynyl, only CH, and methylene, CH2, hydroxymethyl, CH2OH, and methyl, CH3. So, these are the 6 compounds or 1 carbon groups. So, this is the same we will discuss in methionine metabolism, okay, and 1 carbon metabolism, methionine metabolism or methionine amino acid metabolism, and also transmethylation reactions. Okay, these are the 1 carbon compounds. So, these 1 carbon compounds are attached to the either 5th or 10th nitrogen atom of tetrahydrofolic acid. This is the structure of tetrahydrofolic acid. So, pteridine ring and PABA, para-aminobenzoic acid, and glutamate or glutamic acid. So, here N5 or N10. So, if it is attached to both, it is called N5, N10. So, next one is different groups like methyl, N5 and 10 methyl, N5 and 10 methylene, like that. So the methyl group in N5 methyl tetrahydrofolic acid is used for synthesis of active methionine. So active form of methionine is S-adenosyl methionine, that is called SAM. So from active methionine, different compounds are synthesized by taking the methyl group. So S-adenosyl methionine act as a methyl donor. So it is called as transmethylation reactions. Okay. So in example of transferases. Okay. In enzyme classification, transferases one of the reactions. So such reaction transmethylation reactions are required for the synthesis of choline from serine, epinephrine from norepinephrine, and creatine from guanidinic acid and tRNA to form methyl tRNA, etc. So here you can see this is the active form of methionine. So first methionine activated to S-adenosyl methionine. This is the active form of methionine, that is SAM. SAM means S-adenosyl methionine. Okay, by taking adenosyl AMP from the ATP to form S-adenosyl methionine. This is the active form of methionine which will transfer the methyl group. Here you can see CH3 methyl group to the a methyl acceptor. So methyl acceptor may be serine. So serine will accept methyl to form choline. Like guanidinic acid will accept methyl group to form creatine, and tRNA accept methyl group to form methyl tRNA. So that is called methylated products. So after transferring of methyl group to the methyl acceptors, this S-adenosyl methionine converted to S-adenosyl homocysteine. Okay, SAH. So from S-adenosyl homocysteine, adenosine group is removed and will form homocysteine. So homocysteine again reconverted to methionine by the reaction homocysteine methyl transferase. Okay, this homocysteine methyl transferase, this is the enzyme which require vitamin B12 and tetrahydrofolic acid. Okay, this tetrahydrofolic acid act as a coenzyme. So here you can see, so one carbon pool, that is 6 one carbon group we discussed, methyl, methylene, okay. These are the formyl, formimino, methynyl, methylene, hydroxymethyl and methyl. So these one carbon groups are attached to the here tetrahydrofolic acid. Then this tetrahydrofolic acid will transfer this methyl group to the vitamin B12. Okay, so vitamin B12 will take the methyl group and okay, this vitamin B12 will take methyl group and convert it to methyl cobalamin. Okay, so this methyl cobalamin again we will discuss in next slides, in later slides. Okay, this methyl cobalamin will transfer the methyl group to the homocysteine to form methionine. Okay, homocysteine methylated to form methionine. So whenever this vitamin B12 is deficient, so methyl tetrahydrofolic acid will not converted to tetrahydrofolic acid. Okay, so in B12 deficiency, folate is trapped. Okay, so methyl tetrahydrofolate is not converted to tetrahydrofolic acid. So that is called folate trap. So this one also we will discuss in between B12 and also in folic acid. So what are the causes of folate deficiency? So in pregnancy, for fetus metabolism and development, B9 and B12 is required. So in pregnancy, requirement is needed increased. So if it is not adequate taking, means it is decreased, the deficiency will occur. So next one is defective absorption, like in sprue, celiac diseases and gluten produced enteropathy. So these are the immune disorders due to the gluten. This is a amino acid which is present in the wheat and barley. So whenever this gluten will take, there is a immune reaction will occur, and that will lead to the inflammation of small intestines, okay, and also leads to the malabsorption disease. So these sprue, celiac disease and gluten induced enteropathy are small intestine inflammation diseases will cause malabsorption, and also resection of jejunum and short circuiting of jejunum will take the in jejunum there is a removing of some part of the jejunum. So in these conditions also there is a defective absorption of folic acid that leads to the deficiency. And also drugs, okay, like anticonvulsant drugs like hydantin, dilantin and phenobarbital. These drugs will inhibit the intestinal enzymes so that folate absorption is reduced. And also hemolytic anemias, like so folate and B12 is required for maturation of RBCs. So in hemolytic anemias there is increased production of RBCs that leads to increased requirement of folic acid. Next, dietary deficiency. So like in vegetarians, so this folic acid, non-vegetarians who are not taking any vegetable diet, like green leafy vegetables will not take, means it will lead to the folate deficiency, because this folic acid only present in vegetables, okay, like folate trap. So here we already discussed the only way of regeneration of free tetrahydrofolic acid or tetrahydrofolate is the homocysteine methyltransferase with the help of B12. When B12 deficient, this reaction cannot take place, lead to the folate deficiency. So here you can see, so first this is the tetrahydrofolic acid, this is a free tetrahydrofolic acid, okay, this is a combined with methyl tetrahydrofolic acid. So for conversion of tetrahydrofolic acid to methyl tetrahydrofolic acid to free tetrahydrofolic acid, this reaction will be take place when B12 deficiency, this reaction cannot take place. So this free tetrahydrofolic acid will not be generated. So this tetrahydrofolic acid will be trapped as methyl tetrahydrofolic acid. So this is called folate trap, okay. So what are the deficiency manifestations of folate deficiency? So this folic acid will require for cell division and also nucleic acid production, okay, so like DNA and RNA. So in folate deficiency, tetrahydrofolic acid is reduced and thymidylate, means thymine monophosphate synthesis is inhibited, okay. This thymidylate synthase enzyme require tetrahydrofolic acid. So hence DUMP is not converted to DTMP. So these DTMP and TTP tetra, okay, not available for DNA synthesis. So DNA synthesis will not occur, means there is a cell division also not occur. So cell division is arrested, okay. Next, macrocytic anemia. This folate deficiency lead to the macrocytic anemia. So maturation of nucleus of RBCs require this folic acid. Okay, there is a dissociation between maturation of nucleus and cytoplasm is manifested as immature looking nucleus and mature eosinophilic cytoplasm. Okay, so cytoplasm is matured but nucleus is not matured. Okay, so in bone marrow cells, so there is a nucleus, immature nucleus is observed in RBCs, that is called reticulocytes. So these abnormal RBCs are rapidly destroyed in spleen, because those RBCs are huge in size, those they cannot pass through the spleen and destroyed there. This hemolysis lead to the reduction of lifespan of RBCs and also reduced generation and increased destruction of RBCs result in anemia. So this is the cause for macrocytic anemia. Next, homocystinemia. In folic acid deficiency, because increased homocysteine levels, that is called homocystinemia. Normal level of homocysteine in blood is 15 millimoles per liter. So increased homocysteine in blood leads to the increased risk of cardiac diseases. Next, Figlu excretion test or histidine load test. Histidine is normally metabolized to Figlu, that is formiminoglutamate acid, which formimino group is removed by the tetrahydrofolic acid. So formimino is the one carbon compound which is attached to the tetrahydrofolic acid. So for removing of formimino group from the Figlu, THFA required. So therefore in folate deficiency, Figlu is excreted in the urine. Okay. So next, AICAR excretion. Okay, AICAR means amino imidazole carboxamide ribose 5 phosphate. So during last step in the purine synthesis, okay, during purine synthesis, addition of C2. So in purine ring, addition of C2 carbon with the help of N10 formyl tetrahydrofolic acid. Okay, so whenever this tetrahydrofolic acid deficiency occur, that C2 is not added to the purine ring. So when this reaction is blocked, the precursor amino imidazole carboxamide ribose 5 phosphate is increased. Okay, so that will excreted in urine. Next, we all discussed this folic acid required for the fetal development. Okay, so folic acid deficiency during pregnancy leads to neural tube defects like spina bifida, okay, in fetus. There is a mistake there, only spina bifida. Okay, so to prevent these neural tube defects, mother we have to give the folic acid. So come to the sources of folic acid. So rich sources are greeny leaf vegetables and yeast. Moderate sources are cereals, pulses, oils and eggs. Very poor source is milk. So recommended dietary allowance of folic acid. For average adult, 200 micrograms per day is required per day. Whereas in pregnancy, increase it to 4 micrograms per day. Whereas in lactation, it is 300 micrograms per day. So folic acid used as a therapy in macrocytic anemia. So 1 milligram of folic acid per day is given in macrocytic anemia. So along with folic acid, vitamin B12 also will give to the patient to prevent the neurological manifestations of B12. So folate antagonists, just remember the names: sulfonamides, pyrimethamine, and aminoterine and imidazopyrin. So these drugs will used as a anti-cancer drugs, anti-malarial drugs, and antibacterial drugs. So sulfonamides. So we already discussed in structure of folic acid. There are PABA, pteridine ring, and glutamic acid. So sulfonamides have a structural similarity with the para-amino benzoic acid component of folic acid. Okay. So these structural similarity, due to they inhibit the synthesis of folic acid by completely inhibiting the PABA. Okay. So this is the competitive inhibition of enzymes. You can write in examples for competitive inhibition in enzyme chapter. Okay. So when sulfonamides are given, means this structural similarity with PABA, such microorganisms cannot synthesize folic acid and hence their growth is inhibited. So sulfonamides are very good antibacterial agents which do not affect the human cells. Next, pyrimethamine. This is a anti-folate agent used for anti-malarial drug. Next, aminoterine and aminomethoterine. So these are structural similarity with folic acid. So they are powerful inhibitor of folate reductase and tetrahydrofolic acid generation. Okay, active form of folic acid will not be synthesized. So these drugs decrease the synthesis of DNA and cell division. So this will use for anti-cancer drugs and anti-metabolites like leukemias, choriocarcinomas. So see here, this is the structure of PABA, sulfonamides, and pyrimethamine. These have structural similarities with this para-amino benzoic ring. Okay, so that's why they are completely inhibiting the enzymes. So come to the next vitamin, vitamin B12. So B12 also a water soluble vitamin which is heat stable and red in color. Here is the chemistry of vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 contains a corine ring. This is the corine ring with a central cobalt atom. This corine ring has a 4 pyrrole rings, also called as tetrapyrrole ring. So this tetrapyrrole ring also found in heme and chlorophyll. Okay. So in B12 structure, cobalt will bind with the cobalamin, cyanide. If the cobalt bind with the cyanide, it is called as cyanocobalamin. So cyanide can be substituted or replaced by the hydroxyl groups OH or adenosyl or methyl. So if the adenosyl group is added in place of cyanide, it is called adenosyl cobalamin, whereas if methyl group CH3 added, it is called methyl cobalamin. So this is important, how the B12 is absorbed, transported and storage. So we all told water soluble vitamins are generally will not store, but B12 is stored in body. So first, this B12 which is present in the food along with the proteins. Okay, when we taking the B12 along with food, it will bind with it is acted upon by the gastric pepsin, which releases the vitamin B12 from the proteins. Then this vitamin B12 bind with the cobalamin. So this cobalamin which is present in the saliva. Okay, So in duodenum, cobalamin is hydrolyzed by the trypsin. So it is a pancreatic trypsin enzyme. Then this vitamin B12 released from the cobalamin. Then it is bind with the intrinsic factor of Castle. Okay, this intrinsic factor of Castle is secreted by the gastric parietal cells. So that's why vitamin B12 also called as extrinsic factor of Castle. Okay, this intrinsic factor and B12 complex is attached with the specific receptor present on the mucosal cells, and this complex is internalized into the cells, then in the ileum, and also this while folic acid from the jejunum. So in after absorbed into the cells, it is transported to the liver as transcobalamin, and it is stored in liver. So about 4 to 5 milligrams of B12 is stored, which is sufficient for 4 to 6 years. Okay, here you can see this is a absorption storage of vitamin. So functions of vitamin B12. So first one is this B12 is required for methylmalonyl-CoA isomerase or mutase. Okay, so first this methylmalonyl-CoA, which is converted to the succinyl CoA and entered into the citric acid cycle, and also versions of porphyrins. Okay, this methylmalonyl-CoA formed from the arginine fatty acids and thymidine and uracil, and also valine, leucine, threonine and methionine. These are the amino acids. So from the it may directly convert to methylmalonyl-CoA or after converting propynyl-CoA. So this methylmalonyl-CoA converted to succinyl CoA by enzyme methylmalonyl-CoA mutase or isomerase, which is contain the adenosyl B12. Okay, so adenosyl form of B12. So whenever the B12 is absent, this mutase enzyme will not act. So methylmalonyl-CoA will excrete into the urine. So that is condition called methylmalonic aciduria. So next one is for synthesis of methionine from the homocysteine. So the production of methyl tetrahydrofolic acid. In previous one we already discussed from how homocysteine from synthesis from methionine. So the production of methyl tetrahydrofolic is irreversible step. So the only way of generation of free tetrahydrofolic acid in this reaction is vitamin B12. So whenever vitamin B12 is deficient, this reaction cannot take place. That is called folate trap, also called methyl folate trap. That leads to the associated folic acid deficiency and B12 deficiency. So this reaction we already discussed before in B9 also, in folate trap. So what is the requirement of B12? Adults 1 to 2 micrograms per day, and in pregnancy and lactation it is more than 2 micrograms per day. So along with folic acid we advised B12 also. Along with B12 we are advised to take folic acid also. And elderly patients are advised to take B12 supplementation. Okay, what are the dietary sources are? So folic acid is present in vegetables, whereas B12 only present in animal sources. Okay, B12 is not present in vegetables. So liver is the richest source of vitamin B12, and curd is a good source because lactobacillus can synthesize vitamin B12. So deficiency manifestation of vitamin B12 is nutrition deficiency, Next, pregnancy increased requirement and decreased absorption like gastrectomy and malabsorption syndromes before we discussed already in B9, same thing. And Addisonian pernicious anemia. So more than usually occurs in more than 40 years persons. There is a antibodies or immunoglobulin generated against the intrinsic factor of Castle will decrease the absorption of B12. Next, gastric atrophy. In iron deficiency anemia, there is a decreased mucosal surface of the decreased mucosal surface of gastric or okay. Next, in fish tapeworm. So this is only seen in Scandinavian countries. This tapeworm has a special affinity towards the B12 and causes reduced availability for of this vitamin B12. Deficiency manifestations of B12. First is folate trap, we already discussed. Megaloblastic anemia. In the peripheral blood, megaloblasts are immature nucleated RBCs with hyperpigmented neutrophils are observed. Next, increased homocysteine levels. In folate trap, we discussed homocysteine levels are increased, that is called homocystinemia, and this will excrete into the urine called as homocysteinuria. Next, demyelination. So this methionine, active methionine, that is S-adenosine methionine, is required for methylation of phosphatidyl ethanol amine to phosphatidyl choline. Okay. So whenever this B12 is deficient, there is a folate trap and decreased synthesis of active form of methionine from methionine. So that leads to the deficiency formation of myelin sheaths of nerves that leads to demyelination and neurological lesions. Next, subacute combined degeneration. So damage to the nervous system due to the B12 deficiency. There is a demyelination in the dorsal column and pyramidal tract of spinal cord. So since sensory and motor tracts are affected in pyramidal tract, this is called as combined degeneration. So there is Romberg sign is positive, Babinski sign is positive. This will already discuss, usually discussed in physiology class. Okay. Next, eclarohydria, the absence of acid in gastric juice. Means gastric juice mainly here HCl, okay, due to the B12 deficiency. So in B12 deficiency, there is a parallel ridges are seen on the nails. Here you can see peripheral picture of megaloblastic anemia and parallel ridges in the nails in B12 deficiency. So how we can know the B12 deficiency assessment. So serum B12 levels measured by the RAA and ELISA methods, and also peripheral blood smear shows the megaloblastic anemia. Next, Schilling test, in which radioactive labeled B12 is given, 1 microgram is given orally. Simultaneously, there is intramuscular injection of unlabeled B12 is given. In order to saturate tissues with normal B12, radioactive vitamin B12 is not bind to the body tissues. Therefore, in normal persons, the entire absorbed radioactivity will pass into the urine. In patients with pernicious anemia, less than 5% of radioactivity is detected in urine. In this detail not required, just write the names if they ask. Okay. So methylmalonic aciduria is seen, and also Figlu, that is formiminoglutamic acid in urine also positive, and also increased homocysteine levels in blood and urine. So treatment for macrocytic anemia or megaloblastic anemia, there is therapeutic doses of B12 is 500 to 1000 micrograms intramuscular injection. So come to the last vitamin, vitamin C, that is ascorbic acid. It is a water soluble vitamin and also plays an important role in human health and disease. So come to the chemistry of vitamin C. So vitamin C are also ascorbic acid. It is a derivative and closely related with the monosaccharides. Okay, when you see the similarity between this ascorbic acid and monosaccharides. Okay, so L-ascorbic acid reduce oxidized to dihydroascorbic acid and hydrated to diketo-L-gluconic acid and excreted as oxalic acid in urine. So dihydroascorbic acid will convert it to diketo-L-gluconic acid, which is the inactive form. In copper kettles, decrease the activity of vitamin C. So how the vitamin C is synthesized in our body? Like most animals and plants can synthesize ascorbic acid from the glucose. Okay, but in man and higher animals like primates, guinea pigs and bats cannot synthesize this vitamin C because one enzyme, that is gulnolactone oxidase. Okay, this is the enzyme which is absent in these higher animals. Okay, so sources of vitamin C are like amla, guava, lime, lemon and green leafy vegetables. And sources requirement or RDA for vitamin C is 75 milligrams per day. Okay, in pregnancy, lactation and in aged patients there is 100 milligrams per day. So functions of vitamin C is hydroxylation reactions like hydroxylation of proline and lysine, which is required for the synthesis of collagen, and also this hydroxylated proline and lysine required for cross linking of collagen. Okay, and hydroxylation of tryptophan to 5-hydroxytryptophan, which is required for synthesis of serotonin, and also hydroxylation of tyrosine to para-hydroxyphenylpyruvate to homogenistic acid. And also this vitamin C helps in synthesis of bile acids from cholesterol. See here you can see this is a hydroxylation of proline residues which require oxygen and alpha ketoglutarate will form hydroxyproline. Next, biochemical functions of vitamin C. Continuation. So iron metabolism. Ascorbic acid reduces the ferric ion to ferrostate. Okay. Next, in hemoglobin metabolism, reconversion of methemoglobin to hemoglobin. So methemoglobin is inactive form of hemoglobin which cannot carry oxygen. And folic acid metabolism. So the enzyme folate reductase, which require in reduced form require vitamin C. And vitamin C is increase this stimulus of phagocytic action of leukocytes. So and also this vitamin C act as a antioxidant. So this daily intake of vitamin C reduce the risk of cancers. Okay, another vitamins also vitamin E and beta carotene of vitamin A also, and vitamin E they act as a, and vitamin D also act as a have antioxidant property. Deficiency manifestation of vitamin C, that main is scurvy. Like in children's it is called as infantile scurvy or Barlow disease. Just remember infantile scurvy and scurvy in adults. So there is hemorrhagic tendency because there is in vitamin C or ascorbic acid deficiency, there is a decrease in of collagen or abnormal sense of collagen that leads to the intracellular substance brittle. So that is capillaries are easily fragile in nature, lead to the tendency to bleed. So even under the minor pressure, just remember up to that one only. Next, internal hemorrhage. Because of these collagen abnormalities, that leads to the internal hemorrhage also. In severe cases, hemorrhages may occur in conjunctiva and retina of eye, and internal may be leads to the epistaxis, hematuria and melena. So in oral cavities, gums become painful, swollen and spongy in nature. Okay, when they press the gums of your teeth, they will become swollen in nature and become bleeding. The pulp is separate from the dentine and finally teeth are lost. Wound healing may be delayed. So this collagen also required for bone formation. In the bones, this deficiency between vitamin C deficiency lead to the failure of osteoblasts to form the intracellular substance osteoid. So the deposition of bone is arrested, that leads to the bone weakness and easily fragile in nature. So thus hemorrhages may occur in joint cavities and painful swelling of joints may prevent movement of locomotion or movement of patient. So nails become spoon shaped or concave shaped. Okay, so anemia like microcytic and hypochromic anemia are also seen. So here you can see there is a gingivitis and bleeding gums and also spoon shaped nails. So therapeutic uses of vitamin C, there is a power to heal wound healing. So vitamin C is recommended for treatment of ulcer, trauma and burns. And also this vitamin C or ascorbic acid has beneficial effect in tuberculosis. So up to now we completed vitamins, all vitamins, fat soluble and water soluble vitamins. So these are the assignment questions you should write and submit after you came to the college. Okay, so these are the given account on chemistry, sources, absorption, daily requirement, functions, manifestations of deficiency and toxic effects of vitamin A. Second one, functions and deficiency manifestation of vitamin D, and chemistry, functions of vitamin E, sources, requirement, functions, deficiency of vitamin C, functions of vitamin K, hypervitaminosis, antioxidant role of vitamins, coenzyme forms of all B complex vitamins and vitamin K. Okay, next give the source RDA function deficiency of water soluble vitamins. So up to there we complete the vitamin chapter. Okay, so when you come to the college you should come with completed assignment. Okay, thank you.